So far on Fixing Up in association with Amazon, we've taken a pretty tired old day van conversion and really given it some love. I saw the potential where many didn't, and we've been through the whole thing. We've fully serviced it using Liqui-Moly oils and filters by Manfilter. Clive changed the cam belt, the tensioners, and we've even changed the starter motor. We've welded up the inner wing, we've rust-proofed the underside, sprayed the front valance, and fitted some great furniture inside. And finally, we've got it through its MOT with only one advisory. It's an absolutely fantastic beast now.
Well, if it would start and the battery's flat, and I believe that someone, the guilty party being Danny, when he put the cover on it last night, he left the headlamps on. So I'm going to need to deploy my secret weapon, which is this Noco Boost Plus, and I'll get it going with that. Just attaching the clips to the battery and turn it on, and we're ready to go. Well, that was impressive, wasn't it? And now back to Danny.
But before we go anywhere near selling this gorgeous day van, we've got plenty of jobs to do, and one of them is detailing. And I don't just mean a mop and a bucket, I mean proper compounds, specialist equipment, and a really thorough and organised approach to making this van look absolutely fantastic. As they say, the devil is in the detail. No matter how careful you are, it's inevitable that your car's going to get a bit grubby in the workshop or out on the road. The effects of the sun and the winter weather is always going to make the paintwork look a little bit dull in places. So we've got some products from Sonax, Liqui-Moly and Amazon Basics to help us get on with some serious detailing. Now I've started working on the interior, the cab interior. I'm using this Liqui-Moly product to clean and coat all of the rubber and plastics in the cabin. It's coming up really nicely. I'm taking off lots of dirt, as you can see, so hopefully by the time I've finished, it's going to look really gorgeous. So I'm using Liqui-Moly interior fabric cleaner for cars, and it's actually doing its job really well. It's taking off a lot of the ingrained dirt from this passenger seat. It's been there for years, I'd imagine. So now it's time for the paintwork. As you can see, I've masked off the rubber areas around the windows, and I've masked off the door handles. Don't want to be polishing them. And we're only going to be taking the surface off, just cutting very, very gently into it. And so I'm using a medium compound from Sonax. I'm also using a medium pad. And this is a dual action machine polisher. It's got about a 15mm offset. And this helps you when you're actually cutting back the surface, because it means you're less likely to put heat into the paint. You don't want to do that because you're more likely to create swell marks and cut into it too deeply. What I'm going to do first, I'm just going to pad out the compound, then I'm going to spread it on a number 1 setting, and then we're going to go right up to 6, and we're going to do the panel just here, this blue panel here, just up to about here. So here we go. I'm just going to pad it out now. Okay, and then we're on number 1 to spread it. Okay, and I'm going to twist it up to 6. As you can see, it's just taken that surface off a little bit. Be very careful next to edges that protrude, because you don't want to be putting too much pressure on that point where it's going to touch the pad in a more acute way. So that's looking pretty good. Now for the rest of it. So the van's done, and we've got pretty much everything we need for Clive's little surprise camping trip. We've got cool boxes, we've got a cool bag, we've got the water carrier, we've got the stove, we've got the butane, we've got the chairs, and of course, a little kettle. That's the last of the kit, I think. That should do it. You all right, Clive?
I'm really tired, Danny. I feel like I need a holiday.
Funny you should say that. Get in the van.
Okay.
I've had an idea.
Oh, what a carry-on.
Oh, yes. This is what owning a day van is all about. I told you you'd enjoy it, Clive. Absolutely perfect. I mean, when this van turned up, you didn't think much of it, did you?
No, I didn't at all.
It was about an owner away from being a tin can, I reckon. But now, perfect. Really beautiful. Have a think about what we've done. We started with the engine, didn't we? So we went into the engine, we did all the mechanicals, all the oils and filters, cam belt. To be honest, Clive, I would drive that van anywhere tomorrow. And then we stuck ourselves underneath it and got into the rust. There wasn't a lot of rust, but
No,
a little
it's
bit of
really
welding.
solid.
We got the whole underside coated, so that's not going to rust now. Then we looked at the outside of it and we thought, what could we do? Well, that beautiful blue colour, it's absolutely fantastic, but the one panel on the front with it missing was letting it down. Put new tyres on it, we cleaned up those bumpers. The bumpers just look terrible. Now they're really, really pingy. And then there's all the malarkey with the interior, wasn't there? All of that. I mean, but it's every single ounce of effort was worth it, because getting those cabinets painted in the colour of the van, that sets it off really beautifully. And that rock and roll bed, it's a winner. I mean, you can sit up, make it into a bench, have your seat, turn the front two seats around, get a table. That van now, I reckon, do you reckon we could double our money?
I think we probably could.
When you come on a trip like this and you sit back in your chair, you get the sun on your face, actually the last thing you're thinking about is classic cars and restoration.
Really? I think you've been looking at the roof lining in there for too long. Yeah.
Actually, I have had a little idea as to what we could do next.
Should I be worried?
I have to say, Clive, as far as a restoration is concerned, I think this has been pretty successful.
Well, I'll grudgingly admit that I think you've really surpassed yourself this time, Danny.
Yeah, you know, actually, the reason why we've got to go back to the workshop right now is because I've arranged to meet somebody there with a view to selling it.
Already? I just started to get really attached to it.
Thing is, Clive, if we get the money that I'm asking for this, then we can put something down on a really exciting project. Clive?
Yes, mate.
Look, I've got to go and pick up this buyer from the station, but do you reckon you could fit those things that turned up from Amazon?
More stuff?
Yeah, well, really good accessories actually. It's got these fantastic roof bags from Handy World for those longer journeys, you know, extra storage that we always need. And I've got this brilliant, compact, but really sturdy bike rack from Allen Sports. Brilliant, they fit perfectly on the back. It won't take more than 5 minutes to fit them.
Where have I heard that before? Okay, well, 5 minutes, Danny said. Let's hope that's not wishful thinking. I've already half filled these handy holders and they're enormous, so there's going to be tons of storage there. And I'm going to fit this Allen Sports bike rack. Let's see how we get on. These Handy World handy holders, I think, are a fantastic idea. They give you hundreds of litres of storage, perhaps even bigger than the average car boot in size. I mean, that's probably more than enough room for your clothing for a month away. Well, this Allen Sports bike rack has really impressed me. It's very sturdy, it's easy to fix. In fact, I think it'll fit almost any car. And when you're done with it, it folds up to almost nothing, has its own bag, so it's easily stored. So let's just try Danny's bike on it. Perfect. Well, I'm super impressed with that bike rack. It really is good. I'm not so impressed with Danny's bike though. I think he needs to ask Father Christmas for a new one.
Well, he's texted me and he doesn't want it. He wants to go and buy a convertible sports car instead.
Well, it is the young man's dream, Danny, isn't it? The sun on your face, the wind in your hair. Well, what's left of it anyway.
You can talk. This thing will sell, I'm sure about it. And these accessories really set it off perfectly.
Yeah,
don't you think?
I'm really impressed with them.
Yeah, they're really good. And we have to sell it soon, and I'll tell you why. Because I have bought our next project vehicle, and I've got it for a really good price. And just for you lot, here's a sneaky peek.
So that's it for this episode.
And remember, all the parts and accessories we feature in Fixing Up are available through Amazon. Now, watch next time to find out what we've got.
See you then. Bye.